So I am back. I'm back with another one. And today, this one is gonna be a story time. This story time is gonna be about how I got my job at RIU. And then I'm gonna do another story time on how I got promotion. So, how have we been? What's going on with my lovies? What have we been doing? How's your weekend? Did you start watching the World Cup yet? What's going on with my people? My people, you gotta reach out to me. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sharing my page. Thank you for the endless amount of subscribers. Yeah, I'm just exaggerating. But the ones that actually subscribed, I thank you. And just look forward to what's coming. Look forward to everything that I have to share. So now let me just start. Let me just start the video. So, how I got my job at the RIU Hotel. I was actually at home one day because I resigned from my previous job because I just didn't like it anymore. I wanted to do something different. And I was trying for like 2 months to get into the Sandals Hotel, like the hotel at the time. Well, I guess it's still like that, but the Sandals would be like right here and the RIU would be right next to it. But my partner at the time, he was working at Sandals, and because he was working at Sandals, everyone at Sandals knew me, like that Sandals, because he had a certain position in the hotel. So everyone at that hotel knew me. So because they know me, I can't work there because they know that they don't hire relatives. They try their best not to hire relatives. So like, they're just not gonna hire me because of my affiliation with him. So I had to kind of mark that off the chart and try to start something else, try to find something else to do. So I was there one day in the house and I said, you know what? Let me go print some resumes and just drop them off to whatever hotels that are on the stretch. So I think I printed like 3 resumes, and I was gonna go, I dropped one off at Hilton, I dropped one off at Bahia, and then I had the last one, and I was passing RIU. And I went there and I went to the security guard and I just dropped it off at the security guard. So when I was turning around, I heard this man calling to me. I was like, don't call to me. He's one of the Juta guys outside, like a taxi man. He was just calling to me. I was like, for one, I live with a man. 2, I'm not gonna entertain anybody outside, like on the road, on the streets. So don't call to me, like don't try to get my attention. So that's how I was thinking. But then the gentleman was like, you just drop off a resume? That's exactly what he said to me. You just drop off a resume? I said, yeah. That's when he got my attention, and I was like, yeah, I just dropped it off to the gate, because I heard other people say that's how they got in, so why not do the same? So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just drop it off at the gate. So he was like, don't do that. It's gonna just go to HR and pile up on top of each other on the table that they have. That's exactly what he said to me. So he said they have this tall, it's like a stack of envelopes that include people's resume. So it's just resume. So by the time they reach mine, if they ever reach mine, it wouldn't even make sense. I probably would have a different job already. So, and that's that's what he was telling me. So I was like, you know what? Okay. He said, you know what you're gonna do? You have any more resume? I said, no, I don't have any more. That was the last one. So he said, okay, go in the town and go print another one and take it back to me before 6 o'clock. So I run in the town, you know, because this was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I run in the town, you know. And when I run in the town, no, him say we carry it back before 5 o'clock. I take foot in the town. I go print the resume, get one next envelope and put the resume in the envelope, sign up what I'm supposed to sign up, seal the envelope, and take taxi, go back out Iron Shore and drop it off to the man. So I drop it off to the man, him say alright, and I take his number. Him say alright, him take my number, I take your number. Him say alright, call me tomorrow and remind me to ask the person who give the resume if them drop it off. Because him saying know somebody in there. Later on down in the story, or probably in another story, I'll tell you who that person is. But I got to know that person too, because I was working alongside the person. So I did just that. I gave it to him and I left. And then I noticed like 2 days pass, I didn't hear nothing. 1 week pass, I didn't hear nothing. So I called the man. I called the man and I was like, for instance, say his name was, say Johnny. I called Johnny and I said, what happened to the resume? You give the person? He was like, yes, I gave it to him, but he was out of office, or he was not work, or he's gonna call me whenever, you know, I need to come in for an interview, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, you know what? It is what it is. If I get in, I get in. So by this time, I already had an interview at Hilton. So I went for the interview at Hilton, and because this was a couple weeks went by, so I started to give up on RIU. So a couple weeks went by, and I went for the interview at Hilton, and I went to the first step, but I had a follow-up interview to go to. The day of the follow-up interview is the day when RIU called me. RIU called me the day of the follow-up interview that I would have at Hilton Hotel. So I didn't bother going to Hilton because I just wanted to work at RIU. So I didn't even bother to look at Hilton. I didn't go for the second interview because by this time, by this time, RIU called me. So when they called, I think they said, I need to come in for an interview on so and so day. And they told me, I think they said I was supposed to wear black and white. So on the resume, it was an open resume. So I did not apply for a specific position. Listen, a girl is a jack of all trades. I do anything and everything. So you can put me anywhere. Yeah, for real, put me anywhere. So it was an open resume, meaning whatever position is open, available, I will do it and I will take it because a girl needs to work. A girl was sitting at home like a housewife, not a housewife, a house fiancé, not doing anything at all. And it's boring, it's very boring. So I said, you know what? Let me go find work. And I go find work. So I went to the interview. I went back home. I prepared for the interview, prepared myself for the interview, and then I went to the interview. The interview went well. It was like a few managers, I think, HR, and then you have like, say, a manager from this department and a manager from that department that would be there. I guess it was like the departments that actually need someone, like actually need staff, they would have participate in the interviewing process. I don't clearly remember how that part goes, but it's something like that. So I think the interview went well. They loved me. I had short curly hair and I had a bright smile. I still have a bright smile, but at that time my smile was way brighter, and they absolutely loved me. And because of that, they started debating on who's gonna get me. Interview went well. We moved on from the interview. I left, and before I left, they asked me if I would want to go to, because I think at the time they needed somebody on the front desk and they needed someone in the dining room, the two main areas that they needed people, front desk and dining room. So I was like, I could do front desk. I mean, a girl is cute, why not? Front desk didn't work out, thank God, but front desk didn't work out, and I went home. I mean, at the time when they asked me if I wanted to do front desk or dining room, I said, I could do front desk, but it doesn't matter. If I get dining room, I get dining room. If I get front desk, I get front desk. So after the interview, I went home. They called me, I think a few days later, saying I have a training. I need to start training on a certain date. So before I start training, I have to do police record. I have to do all the necessary requirements to get the job. Did all of those. I got through to the job, started training. So when I went in for training, I still didn't know what I was gonna do. I still didn't know what I was gonna do, but when I got there, the dining room manager greeted me. So she was like, I am so and so, and I'm the dining room manager, and you can come with me. And I went with her. And when I went with her, we started, she started showing me around, introducing me to this person, that person. She gave me a tour of the property, and basically giving me the breakdown of like the hierarchical structure of the hotel and everything that a trainee would need to know. She was, giving me one and two, let's say, information as it relates to that. And then from there on, I was just working. Like, I go work when I was supposed to, and I did exactly what I was supposed to do. But in another story time, I'll tell you what happened in the dining room when I was working at the dining room. Listen, hotels are not bed of roses, It is not so nice working in a hotel sometimes, It can be wonderful, don't get me wrong. But you see, when you have certain type of people to deal with, my dear. But I'll tell you what happened in the dining room after training. Well, in the probationary period. I'll tell you what happened in the dining room in another story time. So, and about the guy that actually gave me the job, I just went back to him one day and I said thanks. And then him start give me a word, like him start look me. And I was like, this is not gonna work, uncle. It not gonna work. Thank you for the opportunity, but you want a change? I'm gonna give him a little change. And then I delete him number and block it. Cause you can't look me. No, you give me the job, I take the job. No look me with it. Yeah. Me have a man. Live with a man. Nobody look me. Don't do that. But yeah. So that's how I got the job at RIU. And that's it. That's it for this story time. But I have a lot more coming. This is just the beginning. This is just a little calm one, just a relaxing one, just a beginner one. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it here, because people always ask me how you get the job at RIU, and at this time I was literally like 19. How you get the job at RIU? How you do this? How you do that? I was like, listen, I have to tell everybody the same story. So now I have this video up so people can stop asking me. I mean, I left RIU 6 years ago, but wow, 6 years ago, that's a long time. But yeah, I left RIU 6 years ago, but I have a lot of RIU stories coming up. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. But yeah, toodles. That's it for this story time. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, please remember to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to 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 tell a and continue to give me the support. Love you guys. Bye.